Hi everybody from Chronic Matters, it's Andrea. I thought I would join you from the bed today because that's where today is happening. Anyway, I have a video that I need to put together from the CT scan last week. I think I said in my last video that it came out just fine, which was unfortunately what I was expecting it to do. Neuroendocrine tumors they just like to hide, and they're not easily seen from my understanding on a CT scan. But it's the only video I've ever taken that's been in like chunks, and I need to get my laptop, which has like grown legs and walked away. It's normally in my sewing room, but it's not there right now. So I don't have the energy to find it. But what I will say is, as I anticipated that the results were negative, that it didn't show anything. But I have had a lump right by my left hip bone, but like higher than my ovaries, and more to the side than where my ovaries are. More like bowel. And I've had it for probably about a decade now, and I'm at least 50 pounds heavier than I used to be. My body is retaining fluid, a kind of an alarming rate, especially considering I'm not able to eat any like solid food or anything. The fact that I'm not losing weight is a little concerning. Anyone who might know about the risk of like congestive heart failure and weight gain or whatever, it's not that. I had a test done for congestive heart failure about a week ago, and it came back negative. So I'm assuming I don't have congestive heart failure, but some other reason that my body is not ridding itself of excess fluid, which you can really clearly see, like just accumulating around my face. But anyway, about a decade ago, I found a lump, and it was approximately like 2 inches long by about an inch, and it was at my left hip bone, kind of a little closer to my belly button and up. So it wasn't like my ovary height or anything like that. And I went to my doctor and I said, like, this lump is weird. And it didn't hurt. And he said, I think it might be scar tissue from giving birth to your daughter, because I had given birth to my daughter maybe a year prior. It seemed a little weird that there would be that much scar tissue, and it felt deeper than like superficial muscle, which I would assume would be the scar tissue in my abdomen, right? But I kind of left it because it didn't hurt or anything like that, and I figured, well, it can't be cancer, or it would hurt, or it would be giving me other symptoms or whatever. So I figured at some point, if anything ever came from this lump, it would show itself. So this morning I woke up, and this lump has been hurting now for at least a year, probably a couple years at this point. But it used to only hurt when a bowel movement would like go by it. And I'd be like, ow, 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 ow. And then my husband was like, oh, you have to go to the bathroom. And I'd be like, yeah. So that makes me think it's like at the very end of my colon. You got your small intestines, and like they say that, oh, intestines are so long, right? Like they're just so long. Well, if it's happening like right before I have to go to the bathroom, then that would mean it's like on the outermost part of my colon, and the last segment, not like the transverse or anything, but it would be like, I think, the descending part, just based on where it is. And I figured that it wasn't going to be picked up by the CT scan. There was just something inside of me saying, it's not going to be picked up by the CT scan. Not if it's a neuroendocrine tumor. Especially if it's a neuroendocrine tumor, it would make sense. One, they're very, very slow growing. And two, oftentimes they don't emit hormones until they're like, in later stages, and sometimes like then they'll turn to a secreting hormone tumor, and then you'll get all the side effects of a neuroendocrine tumor. But at least 10% are missed on regular CT scans, from the studies that it is that I've looked at. And so this lump, like 2 years ago, leading up to like the last few months, has only hurt periodically. But now it hurts to sit in my wheelchair or sit in a chair or really just do anything that bends me over the lump. And so I was really disheartened to hear that like the CT scan didn't even see it. And of course, the doctor, no one's denying I have a lump. No one's just denying that there's a chance that there's neuroendocrine tumors in there, but the medical system is moving very, very slowly. And so like I'm at this point not able to eat solid food for the most part. It makes me really nauseous. And I'm sticking mostly to like liquids. But I barely take that in a day either, just because like I'm not hungry and things just are like not moving. But this morning I woke up and my bowels were on fire. Like that spot was on fire. And I'm so frustrated because I'm supposed to go do bingo for my daughter's gymnastics tonight. And they take checks at the beginning of the year, and you have to do something like 5 bingos, and it's like $1,000 worth of checks. So if you don't show up for your bingo or whatever, they have to hire somebody, and then that's what pays the $200 that you give in that check is what pays for your seat at bingo. So ideally, we don't want any of those checks to be cashed because her gymnastics is already like $450 a month, so it's not cheap. In any case, I'm supposed to go to that, but like I have to lay flat, and it's so frustrating having chronic illness because it's like the one thing I can count on is my body not to do what I need it to do when I need it to do it, or to have to do it through pain or anxiety or whatever it is that it's causing, nausea, any number of symptoms it can give me at any point in time. And it's really frustrating because I don't get to go out and see people outside very often. And so outside of the fact that I get to finally do something that participates in my daughter's life in a way that, like helps her do what she loves to do, I get to see humans, and most of the time I don't get to see humans. So in any case, it's just super frustrating because I woke up this morning, I still might have to go, but I have no idea how I'm supposed to sit in a position that like puts, like my rib cage and my abdomen and everything like puts pressure on that spot because it hurts just laying here today. And it's frustrating because it would have just been so much easier if the CT scan saw it and I didn't have to be transferred doctors again, because this doctor's like, well, I don't even know how to order the gallium-68 dotatate exam because, he's from where I am, which is 3 hours away from the next major city. So he basically said, well, I'll reach out to my friend who isn't accepting patients and see if he'll take you on and like help get you that, gallium-68 dotatate to make sure that that's not what this particular spot is. And I do have another appointment with another GI guy who's gonna do a scope presumably, but all of it just takes time, and I'm just kind of left here waiting, which is super frustrating. And I just wanted to raise light on how frustrating it can be sometimes when you know what it is that you need. And if it's not a neuroendocrine tumor, hey, great. But the last thing I need is for this thing to be a neuroendocrine tumor at like a stage 1 or 2, and then not get it diagnosed, and then have it transfer to other organs like down the road. Plus it hurts. So that's no fun. Like, there's something there that is hurting, and it's in one very specific spot, and I can point to that spot. Like, I don't even know if you could palpate it, though, at this point, because one, I'd probably jump to the ceiling, and two, I have too much floof over top of it. So, there is that. At some point, I'll find my computer and try to stitch together the CT exam and, like, how that went and everything like that. But for now, I just thought I'd update about my frustrations on this owie that I've got in my body that is making it so I can't do the things that I want to do because none of my medications touch it. They just don't. The channel's not very big. Most people are not watching these videos, but if at some point it does turn into something, I'd love to hear what you've got to say, what you're going through, and like make connections that way, because it kind of feels a little lonely and isolating. Anyway, I'll check back in another day. Bye, guys.